All right, guys, I've got a Exmark Radius S Series zero-turn mower. It's a 2018, and today I'm going to be replacing the hydro oil on the two Hydrostat motors back here. Now, I've already got it started here. Got the wheel off, and let's get under here and show you. So we got one over here and then the other one over here. They're a Hydrogear commercial ZT-3400. You can already see here there's an oil filter on each side. This side I've already got the shield taken off. This side I got to take the shield off yet. So for this procedure, this is the Exmark manual. It says this is supposed to be done after the first 75 hours and every 500 hours thereafter. I'm right at 550 hours on mine. But it says you can also use, that's if you use Exmark Premium Hydro Oil. You can also use Mobile One 15W50, and then you can change it every 250 hours. I also found the manual from Hydrogear, who actually manufactures these units. And they say change it every 400 hours using a 20W50. So I actually got 20W50 engine oil synthetic, and I'm just going to plan on doing it every 400 hours. So the first thing you're going to want to do is take the back wheels off, which I already have taken off. Lug nuts are, I used a 7/8 socket. Next thing you're going to want to do is back here. Obviously, you're going to have to jack this up first. I've got it supported with my lift, just chained up there, and got it supported that way. But you could jack it up under this back here too. But then the next thing you want to do is take this cover off back here. I already have two half-inch bolts hold this piece in. I already have that side taken out and this side is loose. We're just going to take that bolt out and this whole thing's going to drop down and fall out of there. Up front there, it just hooks over top of the deck. These are half-inch bolts. They take a 3/4 inch wrench and socket. Okay, next thing you have to do is there's a guard that goes over these filters. There's one here and one on the other side. I've already taken this guard off. We're gonna go take that one off over there. To do that, these are 1/4 inch bolts. It takes a 3/8 inch socket. You got 3 bolts, one here, and one on the back side. Okay, next thing we're gonna do is take those oil filters off and let the oil drain. I'm also going to, we have the expansion tank right here. I'm just gonna loosen the cap on that to let some air in. So we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna loosen these oil filters and let the oil drain. Okay, once that's mostly done draining, you're going to want to take a paper towel and clean around the face where the oil filter seats. All right, these are Hydrogear brand filters, part number 52114. I actually went to my auto parts store and got a Napa brand, Napa 400102. And you're going to take a little oil, put it on the gasket of the new filter. And put it on. If I can get it going straight. Okay, so it says hand tighten plus 3/4 to a full turn, kind of typical. And I did have that other side. I had oil leaking out of these things. Well, one of the oil filters had come loose, so whoever did it before this did not get it quite tight enough. So I'm going to snug this one up. Don't want to get it too tight so you can actually get it back off next time, but don't want it to leak either. And you don't want to damage your filter when you're tightening it either. It's probably not the best filter wrench to be using, but it's the only one I have that's going to fit. Okay. Now we're going to go to the other side and do the same thing. All right, go ahead and clean the face of this filter again, filter housing. Put the other new filter on here. Okay, so we have the new oil filters on. The next thing is to fill it back up. And the process for that is on the inside here. It's kind of hard to see, but there's a fill plug right there. Or it's a vent plug, I guess. We have to take those out. One on each side, right here. I think it takes an 18mm socket. I've got one with a, kind of a knuckle here. I'm going to try to use that to get that thing out. All right, I actually got that one broke free. I know you guys can't see that. I can't really get it with the, get my wrench or ratchet in there with the camera in the road, but yeah, it's 18mm. Just gonna take this plug out. And I'll do the same on the other side. Okay, so we got the oil filters on, the vent plugs out, and next thing we're gonna do is fill it back up. And I'm going to put my oil pan back under there. Try to catch both sides because we're gonna fill through that top expansion tank until oil starts to come out from those two ports that I just opened up. So this should take roughly 2 quarts per motor, so 4 quarts total. I'll probably put 3.5 in and start watching it. I also want to make sure the mower's pretty level. I had on this last bit to take those plugs out, I'd lifted up the back end some more, so I'm going to lower that back down. All This is the oil I'm using, Mobile One 20W50. Advanced full synthetic. Back over here to the expansion tank. Take the lid off here and start putting oil in. It's going to take some time for that to drain down through the lines into the motors. All right, so I've dumped in a total of a little over 4 quart. It's still going in there. I did have, you can see here, there's 2 lines coming out of the bottom of this tank. The one on the right just drops straight down about 6 inches into the right motor. The one on the left, it's a horizontal run to go all the way over to the left one, so it takes quite a bit longer to fill the left one. So after about 3 quart, a little over 3 quart, maybe 3.5, the right one went full and I had some oil coming down, so then I put the plug in the right one. That top vent fill plug, I plugged it, and so now everything is going into the left one. I still don't have anything coming out of that one yet, so I think here pretty soon it should start coming out, because I've dumped over 4 quart in it so far. So we'll just keep, it's kind of a slow process, but we'll keep letting it drain in there and see when it starts coming out. Okay, you can see we've got oil leaking out of the port on the left one now, so go ahead and get that plug put back in if I can reach it. Probably not gonna be able to see it. Okay, I got that hand tight. I'm gonna go ahead and lift this back up a little bit and get those snugged up. The manual says to tighten them to 180 inch-pounds. So I'm gonna do that, and then it says to get the oil level up to the full cold line here. So I'm gonna have to put a little bit more in. And after that, there's a purging procedure we will do. And then we'll put it back together. Okay, so I've got the plugs torqued down, and next thing is to purge the system. To do that, you have to open the bypass valve. Basically, like if you ever have to tow one of these things, you can't do it until you open the bypass valve on these hydros, so it'll actually allow the wheels to turn. So I've never had to do that, so I'm assuming it's this right here. That's the only thing I've found that could be that. So I'm assuming you just loosen this knob, and then you're supposed to do it both ways with it open and then closed. So I'm going to pull them back first. And okay, now I still need to get a little more oil in there. I'm going to drop this back down and level it out. So this does actually take over 4 quart of oil. I did see online, I believe on Amazon, they had, I don't remember what brand it was, but they had a 20W50 hydrostatic oil jug. It was a 1-gallon jug, and I thought it would be perfect for this, but it was only 4 quart, and so I'm glad I didn't do that, because this does take over 4 quart. So you want to have 5 quart total to do this. Looks like that's still draining down slowly, so we're going to let it continue to drain. Even if it's a little bit over the full cold line, I think that's fine, because I'm assuming we're going to purge some air out of here in a bit anyway. So, but what you do whenever that gets to the full cold, we'll put the cap back on the expansion. Actually, I may not even do that during this process, but then we have the bypass open, on the hydros, and then we're going to get on the mower. We are going to we're going to start the mower, turn the parking brake off, release it, and then it says to push the levers forward and then pull them in reverse slowly 5 or 6 times in a row. Then close the bypass valve and do the same thing over again. And if you have, then basically you need to check your oil level, refill it if needed, and if it's still making noise or not acting right, then you do the process over again. Okay, so I was watching the expansion tank when I was doing that, and I could see air bubbles. I'm probably not going to be able to see it now, but I did see air bubbles coming up from there. So definitely was getting some air out. So now we're going to push these forward, tighten those down. And we'll do that all over again. All right, I did it a little longer than, or did it more times than 5 or 6 because I was watching back here, and when I would go from forward into reverse, I'd see several air bubbles come up through here, so I just kept doing it until I stopped seeing the air bubbles. And you can see I still actually have over the amount of oil I need to, so I'm assuming whenever we mow for the first time, we'll still get a few air bubbles popping up through there, but we've got a little extra oil in there, so we should be fine. But definitely we'll check that oil level for the next couple times after we're mowing. So I'm going to go ahead and put this back together. Okay, first thing I'm going to do putting it back together, I'm going to put the filter guards on here. And again, we've got this guard and then 3 1/4-inch screws. Take a 3/8 inch socket. All right, next thing we're going to do is put the bottom cover back on. The bolt's going to go straight in there, like that. I'm going to put the bottom end up on top of the head, clip over that. Put the bolt through like that, and then the bushing is going to go inside of this piece, and then the washer, and then that. Like I said before, these are 1/2 inch bolts. Takes a 3 1/4 socket. Okay. Now the only thing left is to put the back wheels back on. All right, that should do it.